virtue. It's because our interest, the interest of the sentient beings, because to free from suffering, to have peace and happiness, that's the logic, that's the reason, you know. So that's it. Following the virtuous path requires faith. Now up to this is described the leisure and endowment. Identify what is the leisure and what is the endowment, and how it is difficult to find, and how is it precious, and how is it very easy to lose, and how to use it. See, in a few paragraphs, as I mentioned, you know, how beautifully presented. Yeah, any questions you have? Discussions? Now next is coming to how mentally we have to have interest in Dharma practice, you know. First, precious human life is so from the Buddha nature, and then now a part of the precious human life. In relation to this, if you have any technical questions. Yes.
This is sort of an ontological question instead of soteriological, but
Not logical question?
ontological.
Yes.
Okay. The question I have is, if we have a Buddha nature, and that's Dharmakaya and wisdom nature.
Yeah, Dharmakaya is within you, yes.
Okay. So in the world we live in samsara.
Yes.
So I guess this is something that bothered me. Why do we exist in samsara when our true nature is Buddha nature? Why evil and pain and suffering at all? Why not just...
No, yesterday we went through very carefully because of confusion.
But why confusion? If our nature is to be unconfused, why are we confused? What's the point of all of that?
You asked the same question, just why not in the first place the butter?
Why not?
Why in the first place not butter? Why just the milk? Why not just come butter? Where is the milk? Where is the sesame seed? Why not just oil come up?
Why doesn't it?
Yes, he's asked that question, you see.
It's just confusing to me.
Yes, that's what's called confused, you see.
So, yeah, it's just, if our true nature is to, I guess in a way, it's
Yes.
the whole point of it, that our true nature is Buddha nature, so
Yes.
why we suffer, so that's the whole point.
That's against the confusion and based on the ignorance, you see.
Okay.
You see. That's why now because of that, now I have to make effort. If you keep asking, why not in the first place butter come? Where is milk? If you ask the question 100 times, still milk is milk. You know. Now what is your interest? If you like to have a butter, you chant the milk and get the butter. Then your confusion is finished.
So my job is to churn the milk and make butter.
Exactly. So your job is now, yes, your job is recognize that, appreciate, rejoice yourself, and then pursue. You know, sort out all the confusions.
Well, there's Probably the same question, but the question I have is why does evil exist? Or what is evil?
Because of ignorance.
Because of
Ignorance.
ignorance.
Nobody wants to be evil. Everyone wants to be wonderful. Like myself, I don't want to be a bad person. I want to be a good person. I want to be a good person in the society.
So
I want everybody like me. But then there's some manifestations. There's anger, mistakes, all this. That makes evil.
But you can churn evil into.
Exactly. That's the point. Yes.
So,
Yes.
okay.
It's very important,
Yeah, well, if you couldn't, there's no point.
Yes. So, see, we don't stuck. We shouldn't stuck where we are in the state of suffering. Now we are studying, get out of that. Because if you don't work, make effort, no matter hundreds of questions asked, doesn't solve the problem. So now proceed into the path here and joyfully see. Up until now, I didn't know where I'm stuck. Now I know. I'm so fortunate. No?
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. You want?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. I thought you have something.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Just let
Yes, Katie.
At one point, you said the arhats no longer had bodies.
Hmm?
They are formless, the ones that achieve the total equipoise. Is that what you
Equipoise, yes.
Yes. So you get this wonderful light from the Buddhas, and they are told they should start practicing.
Yes.
Why does it take so many kalpas to achieve it? Because they should have such minds,
Yeah.
powerful minds, and why can't they achieve compassion? Is
You
it
see,
because they're
yeah, I
formless?
understand your point.
Good.
Yes. Yes, it's a very good point. This, first of all, when you see these things, you get a good picture now how to change your habit. To change our habit, because the inveterate propensity, it takes a long time. One day you are so inspired, oh, wonderful. Next day you are depressed. Other day you are so compassionate. Oh, I want to do everything good for others. And next day you are so selfish. You don't want to do anything for others. So keep changing the habit. So to tune into the right path, it takes a long time. Because they were so kind of habituated in the individual's liberation. They have very little habit to benefit all sentient beings. So it takes a long time to cultivate that mind. You try and come back, you try, come back. So repeated you have to do. That's what our Dhamma practice is. That's how we should do it. So from right now, develop bodhicitta and practice that every day. No? So that's why you see, this helps you to discourage your practice. Even they take that long. Why not me? I must follow the path.
Thank you. That's a very good example.
Oh,
A good example.
yeah, very good, See. So we don't expect. Everything's just like a magic solution. No. Everything is just a cause that we have to create. Okay, now please take a deep breath. And then just take it easy, relax yourself. And you say how much you got for this morning from the Buddha nature and precious human life. Recognize yourself. Recognize how the Dharma is precious. It is also always very important. It's not a belief system. It's how we create a cause to solve the problem, confusion, suffering. So rejoice yourself. Feel happy. So there's a way now to go further. It's worthwhile to have this precious human life. And then again read today that things that we went through. Read again when you have fresh mind. If you think, oh, I understood this, you close the book and it dissipates very easily. So read again, refresh again, and rejoice yourself. So with this mind, we'll say the dedication prayers. So please open page 32. Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind, root and lineage lamas, divine assemblies of Yidams and assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, yogins, yoginis, and daginis, and dwelling in the 10 directions. Please hear my prayer. May the virtues collected in the 3 times by myself, all sentient beings in samsara and in nirvana, and the innate root of virtue, not result in the 8 worldly concerns, the 4 causes of samsara, or rebirth as a Sharavaka or Partika Buddha. May all matter sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me and mine, obstructors who harm, misleading maras, and hordes of demons, experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and subtly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictive arrogance and not arise in my mind. May the attachment to fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta. And through that, may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. May the torment of suffering not arise even at the time of my death. May I not die with a negative thought. May I not die confused with wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of the mind as such, and pervading clarity of Dharma. May I, in any case, gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the Bardo. Next. By the virtues collected in the 3 times by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, by the innate root of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. May the teachings of great Dekungpa Ratna Shiri, whose omniscient Lord of Dharma, master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation, until the end of samsara. Okay, thank you. Thank you, your all participation. And break for lunch. Looks like we have no time for reading the complete guide to Buddhist path. It's a lot. Thank you. 야, 다 펴세요.
We have a couple of announcements. For those of you who haven't performed the registration ritual yet, Tony is out there with his laptop and very willing to help you get through that. We have lunch today, served downstairs like yesterday for those that are staying. Whether there's enough or not kind of depends how many people stay and how many leave, so if you want lunch here, be the first downset with your little $5 bill, $5 again today. And then some of you who won't be back this afternoon, you should know that tomorrow at 9 o'clock, we're going to have a welcoming little tea, sticky rice and tea and kata offering for Rinpoché before the teaching starts. So the teachings probably won't start till about 9:30 or 9:45, but it'd be nice if you all came for that also. And then, if any of you have any concerns of things that you either see are not being done or you have any suggestions for improvements, feel free to let us know, either myself or Lance, and we'd be glad to address them as best we can. But thank you again for coming today. I think these teachings are pretty remarkable, and I hope hopefully everybody can get something out of them. So.
What are we doing later?
Well, what, this afternoon?
Yeah.
Well, this afternoon, again, will be Khenpo teaching from his text, and then, again, the late afternoon will be Kenmo doing the question and answer period like we did yesterday. And those are really very good. And the question and answer, at the end of the day, those of you who didn't get a chance to stay yesterday, we have some time today. Really, it's very informal and informative as well.
So 1:30, we come back for Khenpo's teaching. So lunch is till 1:30.
Give us a couple minutes to make sure we've got everything set up downstairs.
Well, you staying or teaching?
What would you and Kathy like to see with your would you like
Di kare. Oh, tata shagyo mare. Kaya mare shagyo mare. Choy mare. Thank you. Okay. No need everybody. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, bad. Thank you. That is okay. How you been?
So glad to see
Yeah,
you.
you're good. You're good?
Yes.
I don't need this. Yeah, you don't need it. Yeah. No need. No need. Thank you. Thank you, Rinpoche. Thank you.
Thank you.
How's your visit to California?
Wonderful.
Good? Yeah, I heard you had a good time. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, yes, wonderful.
I love you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's no need. You need, I think. Be no mood. Yes, okay, yeah. Yeah.
No mud. No mud.
No, I understand, but I said no mood. Thank you for correcting my English. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Thank you. Where did you land bring this kadak? Thank you.
Thank you.
Where coming from? Coming from where? From Baltimore or from where? From Frederick?
Virginia.
Virginia. Which part of Virginia?
Winchester.
Oh, Winchester. Okay. Welcome. Thank you. So, how you doing?
Good, thank you.
Good?
Yes.
That's good. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, coming from where? Winsboro. Oh, okay. Okay. Not too far. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oldest friend.
What?
My oldest friend. Since 82. Thank you. 다 지금 숭아 여러 왜? 여말 왜? 야야. Okay, first please take a deep breath. Exhale and all the tension and be relaxed, be here and be yourself. And then we'll say a few. First off, maybe we should. That's good now. Yeah, we'll do some opening prayers. As I mentioned before, during this opening prayers, just contemplate in the meaning of those and be, as I mentioned, be free. Make your mind free, relax, like the space, spacious. If we make the mind more like a space, then there's a lot of space. There's a lot of space to bring all the good qualities there's space to get rid of all these tensions, and afflictive emotions, so forth. So with this, please open the prayer booklet, page 1. All Mother Ascension beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstacles who harm me, and also create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and subliminally establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All Mother Ascension beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstacles who harm me, and also create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and subliminally establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All Mother Ascension beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstacles who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and subliminally establish them in the state of unsurpassed Buddhahood. Next page. Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deed with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deed with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deed with body, speech, and mind. And please open page 5. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all Mother Ascension beings, boundless the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from happiness that's free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all Mother Ascension beings, boundless the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from happiness that's free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Thank you. Now page 11. Unequal refuge, ornament of the world. Your fame pervades the 3,000 world. You are the victor, Vajradhara, without doubt. I bow down at the feet of Father Jigten Somgun. Continually I think of you, no one but you. Commissioned one, grant your blessings. Dispel the darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I realize the unelaborated nature of the mind. Thank you. Then say what we have. We have to make the look at it. There's a food offering.
Page 27.
Yeah, page 27. Look at the page 27. In the vegetables first, you see. So the first is the food offering. The precious Buddha is the supreme teacher. The precious Dharma is the supreme protection. The precious Sangha is the supreme guide. To these three jewels, the offerings of the refuge, I make this offering of food. So then we also say next, this well-prepared delight food with 100 tastes, I offered with the faith to Buddhas and Buddhist sattvas. Through this, may all living beings enjoy the rich meditation. By seeing the food as a medicine, I will partake of it without attachment and aversion. It shall not increase my pride, arrogance, or strength, but only maintain my body. Okay, so please enjoy the rice, tea all together now. Yes, please. Yes, yes, please.
I can't pass up the opportunity.
Yes.
Thank you all for being here this morning. This is our official welcoming to have Rinpoché back at the center that he founded in 1982 in D.C. Even though the program started Friday, we wanted to wait until Sunday because we knew some people wouldn't be able to get here until today. We're very grateful to have Rinpoché back. It seems kind of unusual to welcome him back to something that he himself started, but in the last few years he's been so busy traveling all around the world, giving Dharma teachings, that we're always so fortunate when he has time to return here to TMC. When Rinpoché was here last fall, we began discussions about perhaps having this mini Shedra, because a lot of people wanted a little higher level teachings or to go into more depth into the jewel ornament of liberation. And so we were able over a couple of weeks' time to put together a program that we thought would meet those needs for people to enhance their practice. Of course, Rinpoché, with the assistance of Khenmo here, had translated the jewel ornament of liberation, so that seemed like the excellent text to use for these teachings. The program that we set up, as you know, is 8 weeks, 3 days a weekend, and it's been very intense this first week, and I think we're all glad that we'll have a couple days to digest and prepare before the next weekend comes. Khenchen Rinpoché is such a spiritual master, and those of us who have been fortunate enough to receive teachings from him really understand that. And when we come up in the jewel ornament in the next day or two to spiritual master, every qualification that someone would look for from a teacher, Rinpoché really exemplifies. And so not only is he the founder of the center, but he keeps us on the path to enhance our practice. And I know probably the greatest gift we can give him is to show dedication to our practice and to the ideals that he is teaching us. Since he was here last fall, Rinpoché has traveled through South America, gone through several centers here in the U.S., so that he can help spread the word to other centers that aren't fortunate enough to have him there on a full-time basis. But Rinpoché, we want to thank you so much for returning here.
Thank you.
And he'll be here for the mini Shedra, and then he's graciously agreed to follow that up with the spring. This will be our 17th spring retreat this year, and Rinpoché will also be teaching then. On June 3rd, we're going to have a 30th anniversary celebration, because this is the 30th year for the TMC. So we hope that you'll all be able to come back the day for that celebration also. So thank you again, Rinpoché,
Thank you.
for your generosity in giving us so much of your time. And we hope that we're worthy of the commitment you've made to be here this long.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you making this special time this morning, welcoming the tea and the rice. And like Julie is our now current president of the center. So she has been a long time member of the center and a supporter of the center. And she's a decent person who has a good background of knowledge, general, and then specially dedicated in Dharma. So I appreciate, rejoice doing that, continuing the center, supporting the practitioners, maintaining the center. And also today I see a lot of our members who are in the 80s, 90s. So I'm very happy to see you all. There are few I see new, but not so many new. Most are those are old folks. Okay. Aging, Yeah, so it's good, very good. It's wonderful age with the Dharma, study Dharma, understand, try to get some meaning, It's wonderful, it gives you real kind of worthwhile, that what you're doing, kind of that in your mind there's something you can carry on day after day, year after year, then life after life. So it's very precious. And the first day, as I mentioned about the jewel ornament liberation, this book is, even though it's not so thick, not so big, but it condenses such a precious Dharma teaching. It's the essence of the heart of the Buddha. What Buddhism is about. So if we go through, I'm sure many of you have read this few times or many times, possibly. But each time you read, there's something more you get. Each time you read, you get something more. As I mentioned, this is not like a story. If it is a story, once you read it, and once you got it, then there's not much more to know. But Dharma, the wisdom, the compassion, combination of the bodhicitta is very profound. The enlightened mind, which first we cultivate, embrace, then exercise through study, practice, and you can deepen. It's not the book is getting deeper, but your mind is getting deeper. Right now our mind is very shallow on the surface. Underneath, the real nature of the mind is hidden. The Buddha nature is hidden. Now on the surface, all the artificials playing around. We are confused. We are confused the reality nature, and then there we suffer helplessly through our emotion, through our delusion. Now we create our own delusion by ourselves, and then we encounter that. Then we suffer without going depth of that. Like the ocean, the waves, the storms just play on the surface of the ocean. Underneath, if you dive underneath the ground, underneath the ocean, it's always calm, clear. Likewise the sky, we look at the cloud. When the cloud is there, then it's just closes the nature of the space, the sky. But if you go through the cloud, go above the cloud, the sky is so clear, so fresh. But when the cloud just through the winds, storms, thunders, this is place, lightning, all this. Like that, our mind is just cloud of the afflictive emotions play around. Then we suffer helplessly, without getting the ultimate meaning. Some Dharma teaching, when you study, when you practice, then you are touching a little deeper of the mind. And you get sense how precious it is. Because Buddha taught these teachings after he fully enlightened, as I mentioned, not just as Buddhism, but it's the universal reality, who you are. Introducing Dharma gives you the special method, way how to recognize yourself, who you are in reality nature, and how we lost in this artificial, in a fabricated state. It's just beginning of this text mentioned in the introduction. You see, all the phenomena are divided into two groups. The nature of the samsara is emptiness. The mental formation of that is confusion. It characterized as a suffering because of the confusion. The nature of nirvana is emptiness. The mental formation of the confusion is exhausted and dissipated. And there's no basis for the suffering. This is so profound. So that's why it takes time. It's not like pushing the button, turn on the light. It is button to turn, but it takes time, deeper and deeper, to kindle your inner light. So if we really want to free from total suffering, this is the way how to do. So that's why it is kind of go side by side with modern science, because science is designed, investigation, analyze empirically, with based on the reason. But science is more like designed from the material side. You use all the high-tech machine to do those work. Whereas in the Buddhist, you use your inner machine, the mind, the high-tech of your intelligence, and investigate, go through, solve the problems. So those two can go side by side, parallel. To solve the material problem, we need the scientists, those high-tech. And to get the inner peace, happiness, we need these wisdom, these teachings. So that's just 2 days for welcoming reception speech. So please, you in the past you have been continuing, practicing Dharma, and now in the future, just continue for our own interest, as I mentioned, for our own benefit and other benefits of others. It's precious. We individually have the ability and responsibility and freedom to do this all. Thank you. Now shall we continue from yesterday? And now, since I'm not getting time to read the complete guide to Buddhist path, no, so please read that book also. It's very complementary to this dual ornament of liberation, and that book is so precious. I'm not saying it's so precious because I wrote it. The root text which I found, it's kind of, what you call, it presents the pure Dharma teachings. Because the root text writer was an enlightened master. And also, you have heard of Gongchik text. So that root text is also, you can say, the essence of the Gongchik message. So I wrote it in a just simplify the meaning to get, so that we can have access. So put that into the simple book. So you should read it. For example, I don't have the book itself, but I have the manuscript here. I think,
Would you like the book?
it's okay, it's okay. Là, thế thứ ta. I found here. If I get it, then I will tell you tomorrow. Okay. I lost the page number from here. I read something to do with the alaya in that, you see. So if you read the alaya section, covered, the covered temporary adventitious defilement, and that gives you some understanding of the Buddha nature. Then also here a lot of explanation of the precious human life, impermanent, and so forth. So this book will, the complete guide to Buddhist path. There's a lot of stories described and written. Those stories will give you some also support to understand further, and as well as the explanations are very simple English. So we as a group have been working on that book for over 10 years. So that came into that book. So it's one of the very, very precious. In the group you want to study, it's good to study that book. Also, it has a complete path, not just some subject. Sometimes I know in the West you like some. If it feeds your emotion, says, oh, I like this so much, without penetrating the meaning itself. You go your own kind of, without having the incisive awareness, such as your emotional, what you feel goes through that. So also it's sometimes important to have this kind of book and other like the a complete guide to Buddhist path. So it gives you step by step, what to expect at the end. Not just only this moment, the emotional just only helps to settle down. Also, Dharma is, as I mentioned, not just only for this life, not just today. Total liberation of the suffering, the cause of suffering. That's what we are focusing for. Not just to looking for temporary relief. Of course, we do need that also. But when you study Dharma, we get everything: temporary relief and absolute relief. So look at our own mind. Thank you. Kanda jojo dangu jodo na deje lamara jirwa kanso da de na be choyin chara me da sabanda bratam jende je da so sim je tam lo chu sun ro wa jingge lao zo chu lam don ro wa jingge lao do so lam chu ba sa wa jingge lao do so chu ba ye shi zo cha wa jingge lao do so we said those beginning prayers, so please cultivate your altruistic thought. So study this precious book that cultivate the bodhicitta, the enlightened mind, to achieve complete Buddhahood. So last 2 days we have been working on the Buddha nature. That gives you a complete